Welcome back to my channel. Bree Morrison here. If you are new to my channel, this is the channel for you. If you are someone who's into manifestation, transforming your mindset, attracting abundance and wealth, business, marketing, sales, having great products and experiences for your customers and clients, everything business, mindset, spirituality, even dating, all of that stuff. Just myself, I was a broke personal trainer a few years ago, now turned 7-figure online business owner and live a life of freedom. Okay, so that's my story. You know it if you've watched my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like the video if this adds value to you as you watch it here. But I just finished a F45 workout, feeling really good on the endorphins, and I was like, what do I want to talk about today? I kind of plan my content out, but I really like to let the current collective consciousness, what's going on in the world, kind of come to me. And something that I just wanted to invite you guys to do if you're watching the video is ask yourself this question. The theme of this video today is all about your inner critic or your nasty voice or the voice in your head, your ego, or whatever you want to call it, that voice in your head that is literally holding you back from your dreams. Okay, so last video I talked about setting up your Google Calendar, setting up the activities. The premise and the theme of all of my content is your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions create your reality. Okay, so last week we talked a lot about the thoughts and the feelings, but last week we talked about action. Today I want to go back and talk about your thoughts, right? And the thoughts is the beginning of everything. It's the I am, it's the beginning, it's the creation. The thought is the first step to creation, because what the thought comes in, the feeling comes in, the action comes in, and the whole thing together creates whatever it is, okay? So I invite you to grab a piece of paper. Is going to be the most powerful way to get the most out of this. But even if you're just sitting there, if you're driving, take a second, I'm gonna be quiet, and just say inside of your head, hear the voice in your head say, hey, 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 5 times. Hey, 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 hey. Can you hear it? Can you hear the voice in your head, right? What is that voice in your head? Have you ever sat down and really got to know that voice and listen to it? And most of the time, again, that voice kicks in subconsciously, below consciousness. So the only way to rewire your brain is when you are in a conscious state of realizing exactly what you're thinking and controlling it. So when those negative thoughts come in, you're able to grab the thought, shift it into something that's positive and makes you feel better. And so then you act better, right? So consciously you have to control your thoughts, but let's be realistic. How often do we go unconscious throughout the day? When we're sleeping, when we're driving, when we're a bunch of distractions are coming in, our kids are running around, my pets are always doing something, right? We go into that subconscious state where the subconscious tape player, whatever story is in your mind, is gonna kick in and start playing. And that's when that inner critic and that voice comes in of everything's falling apart, I'm not good enough. The deep, deep fears and feelings and the shame and the guilt and all that stuff, the fear is deep down in your subconscious, and it's 95% of our life, of our thoughts, because our thoughts are our life. Your thoughts are reality, right? Your thoughts create things. So I just invite you again, I had you hear that voice in your head consciously, hey, 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 do it again. You can even say your name like, hey, Bree, hey, Bree, hey, Bree. It can even get louder and yell at you like, hey, wake up, what's up? And so you can control that voice. When you realize you can control that voice consciously, but acknowledging and recognizing that most of the time you're not aware of that voice and it's subconsciously kicking in, okay? So you have to consciously control the thought, which we're gonna do right now for the rest of this video. And on the flip side, the way to reprogram the tape player that's subconsciously there that kicks in when you're going unconscious throughout your day and when you're sleeping is through meditation, is through hypnosis, is through listening to the affirmations right when you wake up, when you're still in that theta state, kind of coming in back into reality. And as you're falling asleep, as you go from conscious reality into theta, into that deep wave, brainwave sleep where you're unconscious. Okay, you're not in this dimension anymore. You're in a different dimension, literally. So that's why I preach, listen to those affirmations right when you wake up and before you go to bed. And even throughout the day, taking 5-10 minutes, if you're not doing something, if you're not consciously coaching or working or whatever business you have, or even if you're in a job right now or a stay-at-home mom, whatever your life is like, when you're consciously doing your day, listen to be mindful and just listen to your thoughts and like be more mindful of them, and then set aside some time to get into that relaxed state and listen to some affirmations, meditate, quiet your mind and listen to that voice, okay? So that's the theme of this video, but I just invite you to grab a pen and paper right now and start and take 5 minutes, put on some relaxing music and just start listening to that inner critic, that voice in your head, and write down what are the thoughts or the statements or the things that voice is saying that is holding me back. And a lot of times it's your ego, or it's just something. For example, let's say you invest in a coach, you invest in a program. You might not realize that those thoughts are going wild. Like, why did you do that? That was a mistake. You blew your money. You're going to fail, right? That like those crazy thoughts start coming at you. And so it's so imperative that you realize when you're first starting something that's new or challenging or out of your comfort zone, those thoughts are going to go rampant. That is totally normal. If you feel fear, if you feel resistance extra hard as you're doing something new, that usually means you're on the right path. So it's so imperative that we call out that voice, that we write it down, that we put it in the light, that we put light on it, that we draw it out, that we have it visually in front of us so we can say, wow, that's a nasty voice. That voice is not serving me. That voice does not make me feel good. And then we make a conscious choice, because humans have free will. We have the mother frickin' power to control our reality off of our thoughts. I'm telling you guys, this is how I've gotten from broke, $30,000 in credit card debt, working a 9-to-5 job, personal training on the side, to a life of complete financial freedom, multiple 7-figure business where I can work from anywhere online and do whatever I want to do anytime, okay? So write it down, get clear on those thoughts, whether it's, no one is ever going to understand me. I'm all alone in this. I made a huge mistake. Oh my gosh, my mom and dad are going to abandon me. Like the real deep thoughts that nobody knows, that you don't share, that maybe you didn't even know was there until you took space to listen to it. So listen to that voice, write it down, get clear on that inner critic voice and the things that are holding you back. And once you're clear on that, you can then feel empowered to choose the opposite thought, the thought that feels good. And if you can't go all the way to totally opposite, from fear to love and peace and joy, from shame and fear, if you can't move all the way up the spectrum immediately, pick a saying that's a little bit more positive than that inner critic voice. Like, oh my gosh, my whole life is falling apart. You can move to, I'm getting better day by day. I'm doing my absolute best. Right? It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, I'm a multimillionaire. If you don't feel that and it feels really yucky to say that because you know it's not true, even though it is true in another reality, time just hasn't caught up. It's your faith that activates it. But if you're just not there yet, just focus on statements that make you feel a little bit better, okay? So that's the premise of this video, just understanding your inner critic, listening to that voice, realizing that voice takes over when you're unconscious throughout the day and when you're sleeping. So doing the work consistently for a week, 30 days, 90 days, a year of just doing the affirmations, reprogramming, journaling, writing down the inner critic and choosing thoughts that make you feel better and meditating on them. And every time that little voice comes in your head, say, I love you, I love you. It's usually your inner child. It's usually, something from the past. It's your subconscious is your past, and we hold it in our body. So just being like, okay, I hear you. I hear that you're afraid, but I'm gonna do this anyways, and it's gonna go amazing, and it's just getting better, and I'm learning and I'm growing every single day, okay? So control the thoughts in your head, be aware of them, reprogram them, be consistent. Again, this is kind of the same concept every single video, because it's really what is when you start to realize you have the power, you control your reality, shift the inner critic in your voice. But first step is always, always, always awareness and calling it out, okay? So like this video if it was valuable for you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, this is Bree Morrison. So grateful for you guys to watch this, and you have the power to create your reality, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.